We are back for Vantage League Summer 2017 Stellar Division. We got an old staple, Disadvantage Leaguers, some new guys, the wannabe Banditos. I am the host, as normal so far, the Amo, and today I got with me my buddy Blitz Lion. Welcome, man.
How's it going? Glad to be here. First game of the regular season.
It is. I am pumped. I know you are pumped as well to get in this. A lot has changed since the playoffs, over a month ago. So we didn't see these two particular teams in the playoffs last split, but I think that's something that we can definitely see change going into this season. We got a lot of talent coming back here from both sides, and a lot of prowess in specialty, and I know the Disadvantage Leaguers have been together mostly for a while, but it looks like they got a slightly changed up roster from coming into the summer. And then we do have the wannabe Banditos who's doubled up here, so they're a new squad put together, and I'm hopefully we'll see this. Also, we got the new draft system, just like the pros do it. So, what have we seen so far?
I mean, it's a little different. It's not like each individual role banning. It's just the top laners. But yeah, we do have the 5 bans, 3 and 3, and then you do 2 bans after the 3 initial picks. So we have some definitely varied bans here from both sides. Like not particularly banning out one role or the other. It's very spanned across the teams.
Most of these in Vantage League are targeted at certain people or certain comps that they don't want to play against. We obviously see the Shen and Gnar band against Eevee's Bay, the Kazakhs against Vance. We got 280 carries in Tristana and Caitlyn already taken out against Death by Cows, and last train to Busman. Busan.
Yeah, it's a big city in Korea.
You're going to butcher that every single time tonight. The Kale band, I haven't. I think that's probably going up against Benaya Lion Power, because I don't think that's a champion Thad the Destroyer plays. But we've seen some picks go pretty quickly here with the Thresh, Gragas, Malzahar compared to the Orianna Warwick. Both teams showing their mid laners and junglers really early here. Any strats coming into this new banning pick ban phase that you want to discuss? Target. I mean, we got both mids, jungles, and supports taken so far.
So I like what Disadvantage Leaguers are doing here, because they match the roles. Now it's kind of hard to ban out the other roles. So we have an ADC and top lane needed for each side. So it's really hard to target one or the other, because you're also hurting your side as well, depending. So you really have to kind of ban out the fringe picks, stuff that one side plays and the other side doesn't.
I am forsaken.
So I mean, I've seen a lot of the Disadvantage Leaguers now for the 3rd or 4th season where I've been able to see this team and them come up from one of the lower ranks and go through their plays. They do have a little bit of role swapping here, though. So it's going to be interesting to see how they pull this out, as they used to be kind of one of the stable teams, and they are one of the teams they're always action-packed. Their games are really fun to cast, and I'm excited that they're one of our first teams.
Yeah, for sure. I remember back in the day, I used to play against Disadvantage Leaguers when I was in Helio myself, back when Vantage first started, in mid-2016. So I can definitely affirm that they are quite action-packed.
Do we see a couple more bands coming out there? The Jace and the Swain, Varus and Fizz now. Kind of a lot of AD carries taken probably in Ooh, Misfortune, kind of
Yep.
a nice lane control. Coming out here. As you want to wrap up these team comps here, what are they kind of be looking for? I mean, we kind of see the Malzahar and the Gragas, some synergy, but I see with more Malzahar and Thresh with the pick potential.
Yep.
Do they just want to double down on that? Maybe take Ashe here with their AD carry.
Ashe would definitely be good here. It's interesting that they banned the Varus. Oh, they go with a Jinx, which doesn't really fit their comp. Not that traditional pick style. However, they're probably still going to go for that kind of pick comp with the Kled and just have Jinx be that cleanup ADC that we used to see back in like Season 3, Season 4.
Now, on the other side, we do have the Orianna Warwick possible combination there, and the long range pick potential with the Bard ult, or the easy mobility to get around the map, and now a Malphite. So
yep. They are going for straight up team fight 5v5. The only tricky thing here is Death by Cows and Avant-Garde have to be very careful about their ult timings. You don't want to have a Bard ult going off on the enemy at the same time Misfortune presses R. That's not going to be very fun for disadvantaged leaguers.
Yeah, Bard I think has to be the one that has to be the most timed one, because there are a lot of high impact ultimates here with the Warwick, Malphite, Orianna, and Misfortune ults coming on side, and Avant-Garde's got to do a decent job of not only protecting his teammates, but making sure that their abilities do what they need to do. On the other side, though, to counter that mobility, we do have an all-in champion in the Kled. Gragas is, can get in there. Malzahar wants to be relatively close. So there's going to be a lot of clashing in the front lines here, and I'm pretty excited to see the forces run into each other.
Yeah, for sure. I think if this game goes late, disadvantaged leaguers have the advantage, not to be ironic there. But they have a pretty classic team fight comp with the Malphite, Orianna, and Misfortune. They have a Warwick on top of that, so Orianna has 2 ball delivery systems to get her shockwave off on the backline. Jinx has to be really careful of her positioning when Warwick and Malphite are around.
No, on the other side though, the Warwick does need a little bit of time to scale up, and Gragas maybe you can make some early impacts to influence on how late this game actually goes.
Potentially, for sure. It's interesting that we have a pit comp coming in, yet they also have a lot of scaling with Jinx, Malzahar, even Gragas scales well into the late game. So it's really going to be on Banditos to force the tempo here, because disadvantaged leaguers can just sit back and farm all game and just wait until 5-6 items, and just team fight to win.
Now, Blitz, what lane are you? I'm a natural top laner, so that's kind of how I kind of look at a lot of stuff. What role do you specifically come from? Just can we get a point of view where you're looking from?
Yeah, I'm a jungle main, but I've also played top lane and a little bit of mid lane in Vantage, so I definitely like the top half of the map. Not much of a bot laner myself.
Okay, yeah. So if you're looking for a pro commentary on the Bard versus Thresh matchup, one hits someone with a chain, the other one throws meeps at each other. So, and both the AD carries are female and have guns.
Yes, definitely top tier commentary here. Nothing but the best for Vantage League.
Oh, that's exactly what they want to hear out of this. So, the real question is, it's summertime, and that means the sun is out. In Blitzland, you know what happens when the sun comes out?
What?
Guns come out, and skins come out. It's time to shred those shirts. We're going skins. Which team's going to have more skins?
I was not expecting that. I'm not sure. I'm just going to take a shot in the dark, and I'm going to go with disadvantaged leaguers. Just taking a shot in the dark, even though it's summertime, as you say.
Yeah, well, it's almost nighttime on the East Coast, so we're going to be kicking it over here to the full screen view, kicking it in. And on the blue side, we will be having the Banditos. The disadvantaged leaguers will be playing on the red side. And as soon as it loads up here, we will run through the full team comps for everyone, so we can get everyone's name mispronounced properly and get into the match.
That was weird. Alright.
Okay, so for the Banditos, we have Bien Lion Power up top on Kled. Second Vance is backwards on Jungle Gragas. On the side of Thad the Destroyer on Malzahar in mid lane, Last Train to Busan playing AD carry Jinx, and Ziggy as the support Thresh in bot lane. Up top for disadvantaged leaguers on the red side, we're going to have Malphite played by Eevee as Bay. Raj Tolsh Raj something playing Warwick in the jungle. Switchy on mid lane. Oriana, Death by Cows coming at you with this Mismatch Fortune, Avant-Garde on the Bard. So, Blitz, are we seeing any invades? Looks like we got a fan.
Nope, it's just the standard 5-point vision, trying to sniff out where the junglers are starting. Bard getting out here a little bit late.
Yeah, he couldn't decide if he wanted the new coin item thingy or the blue one that deals damage. Frost Queens. Once again, support action commentary coming at you right now. So
although that is I like that as a starting point. I don't particularly care for coin on Bard. Coin is a very good item since the changes. However, Frost Queens gives more incentive to harassing, which is something that Bard does very well, especially into like a Jinx Thresh lane, who can't harass him as much until level 2. So it just means Bard is going to sit back a little bit more, which, you know, we like to see the action. You know, Frost Queens gives you that action.
Well, I think it was a tie 4-4 in skins. Gragas and Malphite do not have skins. For the viewers at home who are keeping track, really strong leash here given to the Warwick, and Jinx is doing a delayed, pretending that Gragas is starting at red buff leash, while Gragas actually started at Wolves, and Thresh helped Gragas with that. Interesting, he's going to go Wolves to his blue side. Maybe going to look to get an early gank up in top lane.
Could also be mid lane. You have that flexibility as a jungler.
You do as the I mean, it's farming right now, so nothing too impactful, other than the little cheeky tried to lay. I don't know, if I was Jinx, I would have been I'm going straight to lane. You Thresh, when you get here, you get here. And try and get to that level 2 as early as possible. So, because Thresh was going to be delayed anyway, and all of that poke Thresh has taken is already down to a quarter health, and that's mainly from the Bard early action, throwing out those crazy little meeps. So,
now if he had Frost Queens, he'd have like a lot more gold, and disadvantaged leaguers would have an even larger gold lead than the 200 gold lead that they have now.
Yes, well, 200 gold lead at 3 minutes, not the end of the world. Just straight farming. Now, in particular, do you see a matchup that excites you more than anything else?
I haven't seen a ton of Malzahar since the changes, so I'll be interested to see the Malzahar-Oriana dynamic. Yeah, and I'm always excited to see junglers fight. That's my home in the jungle. So.
Well, I saw firsthand when I was doing some flex queue with a bunch of, Vantage members, and George Peeperdell pulled out the Malzahar mid and absolutely carried us to victory. He literally was just make sure protect Malzahar. As we see some early action here as Gragas is fighting over the Scuttle Crab with the Bard and Misfortune, and they are able to take that away, but they left lane for a pretty long time, and Jinx has got a decent freeze going on now.
Yeah. I mean, Disadvantaged Leaguer's bot lane couldn't really do much because of the freeze, so they might as well contest. Glad getting really low up in the top lane.
Not sure how that trade specifically works, other than just getting poked out by a whole bunch of Q damage and maybe getting minion blocked stuck up here. He's going to be able to back and just teleport back to lane here. Not the thing that Bard wants to do as someone who wants to early pressure in on the tanks, but he didn't die, so it's not the end yet here.
I do find it interesting that both of the AD carries decided to go with a Doran's Blade. We've seen a lot of Doran's Shield lately since the changes, and even like a Longsword 3 pots would be good, but they're just both going with the classic Doran's Blade.
Well, Misfortune does have a healing support, so getting that additional heals, and then the Targon's coming out on the side of Thresh should help, sustain the AD carry as well, as we get a nice double stun into Make It Rain from Misfortune, and that's just going to make, Ziggy has to flash out of that one just to prevent any, going ham and taking him down for first blood. So good trade on the side of Disadvantaged Leaguers here in the bot lane.
Oh, both junglers look like they're heading bot. Hopefully we can see some action here.
Ooh, Vance. Excellent. Proc the dragon, and it knocks Warwick back there, so it didn't allow... Oh, Ziggy's going to go in onto Bart. Not sure if that's necessary. He already has burnt Flash. He gets first blood with the help of the dragon, but he goes down, so Warwick's going to be able to clean up that one. First blood onto Ziggy, though. That was some impressive and I'm going to say slightly lucky play.
It definitely luck. That was not skill. Sorry to Ziggy there, but that was definitely lucky that Warwick had procced the dragon when dueling Gragas.
Oh, Gragas procced the dragon, so when Warwick did his jump, he got pushed back, and therefore Gragas was able to E over the wall and escape.
I think that was also a little luck too, not gonna lie.
That's sometimes you don't have to be good, you have to be lucky.
Yeah. I mean, tell that to Dignitas. I mean, what?
Jeez. Evia's Bay just annihilates Lion Powers. Oh, jeez. Just straight up ults, ground slams, and one more auto with the flash because they trade flash to get that kill. Goes down as Orianna is going to get tacked under tower, has to flash out. Thresh is going to go for the hook, does land it, pulls in with the flay, and throws the Lancer to bring Gragas in, who's should finish. Oh, Thad is going to be able to take that one with his, space disease. As his E. No, I don't know what it's called anymore. I used to know back when there was only like 80 champions. Is it?
I believe it's Malefic Visions.
Is it? It is. Yeah. Much better than me. And we got the Kled ult coming in. He's going to go in onto Eevee Isbay, who does not have flash and is not going to be able to get away from that one.
Nope. Good revenge kill for Benaya, seeing that Malphite extended a little too much, overstayed a bit, and didn't have that much mana. So, good call there.
Soon as he burnt the flash and got the kill, he probably should have just backed at that time, bot, and then come back to lane. Now Malzahar is going to have a nice, probably control of this mid lane, but the vision so far by Warwick, specifically in the red side jungle of Gragas, we see 2 deep wards and the scuttle by the dragon here. Pretty good job with a pink here in this lane. Disadvantaged Leaguers definitely have worked as a team and definitely have set up their vision so far pretty well.
Yep. They can get a pretty good read on where Vance is right now. Jungle tracking is one of the most important things, but Warwick's coming in.
Oh, jeez, and there's the fear, and there's the flash out of the Orianna ult, also makes Warwick miss his, and because of that, that is a failed gank. You burn 2 ultimates just for a flash. You may know you can come back later, but Thad's still gonna have Ghost.
That was pretty good timing on Thad's part. That flash was. Ooh, if he had flashed a second later, he might not have gotten out of that.
And now we see Kled and the Gragas going in for some deep vision of their own, taking out a pink ward, placing another one at red buff. We'll see if he wants to fight for this. He does not have smite up for about another 5 to 10 seconds here. Sorry, 8 seconds. It's coming up now. Warwick, he's just going to be able to sustain through this. And now he places ward. So the junglers are going to be fighting over this red buff. We'll see. He can fight him, but the smite was used by Warwick and the fear make the Gragas leave. Flash out from Gragas. Malzahar is playing, trying to lace a little bit of poke. Has to burn the ghost here, so Malphite not in range. Does throw the ult out. Just misses. Safety.
I'm a little worried about Disadvantaged Leaguer's mechanics here. Like, they have missed 3 ults. 1 or 2 of them maybe not so much their fault, maybe just Tad outplaying them, but that Malphite ult was never going to hit.
Yeah, well, there's some... Misfortune fires off an ult in bot lane to prevent her Bard partner from going down, as the great hook into Chompers from this bot lane here was able to, secure a lot of damage onto the support. So, as the we're at the 10-minute mark here. So how is it? We've seen a lot of ults fired off, and nothing that has actually collided for a kills, other than the top lanes trading ults for deaths.
Well, no, Malzahar also ulted to get the kill on Orianna earlier on. Definitely Bandito's making better use of their ults, I would say, so far in this game.
Now this work has started to increase the farm lead, but 6 creeps that's just Wraiths. It's not particularly high enough to warrant like such a heavy farming style jungler. And while he does have a kill, it was, kind of a lucky one at that, down in the bottom half of the map, whereas Gragas has been at least participating in some of these ganks. And here goes, perfect time. They sat there waiting for a really long time to wait for that gank work. Capitalizes on Malzahar, CCing himself when he goes into his ult.
Yep. Much better use of their ults there. Definitely getting a little bit of advantage.
Oh, and the train to Busan. And ult. Avant-Garde trying to go fire off on the Misfortune. Not sure if that was needed, because Jinx Rocket has not come out yet. There's the, Little Rockets taking down Bard in that instance. Should have been a little bit more careful. Misfortune had already flashed and healed and escaped. And with the support going down and Misfortune nearly dead, Kled has walked his way down here. This is going to be a free dragon for the Banditos.
A really interesting interaction that happened there was when Bard traveled through his tunnel, he flashed in front of the Jinx rocket, I believe, or else he just positioned there, blocking it. Misfortune might have died there otherwise.
Kled throws right down the lane there. Perfectly down the lane. Orianna was able to use Ghost to actually escape the range, so Kled couldn't jump to her. So ult for some. It was the trade-off there. Malphite was able to get some time up in top lane and push out the minion wave, as he's now slowly, been reduced in CS to behind Kled, who's taking a little bit of control of that top lane.
I find it interesting that Malphite is behind CS, but Kled was out of his lane for a long time. Not sure what's going on there.
Sometimes, CSing with Malphite can be kind of hard, especially the way that Kled can harass. And while the early levels, 1 through 3, 4, maybe even up to 5, 6, favor Malphite, as soon as you get past that first level rank, Kled's going to have the full advantage. Plus, Gragas is Thresh looking to go in here. EV Bay's got to be careful.
Looks like the mid laners are trying to do something. Orianna trying to look.
Malphite is going to ult on his way out, as there are 3 people in this top lane, maybe looking for the first brick, but there is only 1 minion. Jinx is now down here by herself, trying to hold off 2 members.
Disadvantaged Leaguers are just going to give it up.
They're going to, yep. Warwick was trying to hold in mid, and maybe we'll roll down here. And Malzahar is just going to blow everything in onto the Warwick, and that...
Looking like they have a lot of synergy, kind of playing the TSM, Camp Bjergsen thing going on here. Tad's not having a fun time.
Yeah, well, he is up a couple CS, so he's doing okay. Bard going with their extended long-range poke, trying to get in. Oh, throws out the ult on the tower, so he stopped getting targeted because Kled teleported into this bot lane tower, and Kled's going to be able to take this one out. Magical Journey's not saving this mystical creature, as we now see Gragas going to go down and hook out from... the Thresh, and it pulls in Warwick into the Jinx rocket. Now we have a teleport coming out on the side of Malphite, who does not have ultimate, does throw out the Q, get a speed boost, but that's not going to happen. Is another hook not needed because no one was there.
Bandito's playing a very good game there. Not only get the pick onto Bard, who extended a little too far, but they got the kill, or the trade kill onto Warwick after Gragas died, and then forced the teleport from Eevee that just didn't do anything. Much better use of teleport coming out from Benaya.
And with the bottom tower here, and it's interesting seeing that the top tower was the first one to go, and that the support and done an Ziggy, that was a really good roam with the jungler, the target, the lane that was winning the best to just make sure that they got that first brick gold. So with the advantage of the first tower and the first dragon, which was an ocean drake, so that's a little bit more sustain in lane. What should be there? Where are they looking next? So they're looking to get that next dragon here coming up, or possibly looking at that Rift Herald.
I think it's definitely a play on the Rift Herald. Top is definitely their strong side right now. Getting objectives is a lot lower risk than going for Dragon, where disadvantaged leaguers has their advantage.
Well, we got some support fight going down on the bush here, while the entire time that's a dead Jinx. They finally pay for it for having Ziggy leave lane yet again to try and roam to look a play. A playmaking support here wants to be in the action, but every time he leaves, his AD carry gets kind of put behind and put back. As now we see Bard once again going too deep into the other side, is probably going to get out. Nope, silence, back to the grave. Yep,
Gragas and Kled are taking Rift Herald like we predicted.
And with Rift taken now onto Gragas, he'll be looking to play that. Next dragon is a mountain dragon, even though the spectator mode says it's infernal, because it says every dragon's infernal.
I know, they haven't updated that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, apparently. So, Kled just getting that massive lead here onto Malphite, not only in CS, but the lane pressure. And even though he already has a Black Cleaver and a Tiamat, so he's not only going to be pushing out, he's actually going to be shredding through whatever armor that Malphite is stacking. And he has gone for the Ninja Tabi in the, Frozen Gauntlet here, but that's not enough yet. He doesn't have any health to go with it.
Definitely true. Eevee is Vey. I expected a little bit more, especially since this is one of the players in Supernova. I expected a lot more coming from this matchup.
Well, he did get the kill first in lane, and I just think that's the couple of Gragas janks up top. Oh, great hook by Ziggy now, so we're going to see Thresh go in, and they're just going to load all of the damage in onto Avantgarde, who does not have ult. It was just about to come up. He's going to drop. Now Gragas is here. I think they may drop the Rift Scuttle, or the Rift Herald.
Yep, looks like they're going to do that now. Really unfortunate game for Avantgarde. I know he used to be a top laner for this team. Had to switch up for
Sorry, yeah, Ziggy is going tower diving in onto the Jinx to prevent the ult to taking down the Rift Herald. They finish off the tower. Now Jinx is going to be targeted out, and there's the ult taking out the Gragas. Kled's ult's going to come in, followed by the Malzahar. Not sure if they wanted to continue this. The Rift Scuttle is doing a little bit of damage, as we see Malphite ult's going to take Skarl and send him on his way, while Kled's going to finish off. Malzahar's trying to get some return damage, and guess who's back? Avantgarde's going to come out, throw out the ult, and it's just going to miss, and they're going to try and get in on the rest of this, as Eevee is bet. You got all armor, buddy, no MR, and that Malzahar deals a lot of damage, as Switchy finishes and picked up that kill. I think everyone died except for Orianna.
Yeah. Whew.
Rift Herald is still going.
That she is. Wow, that was a long team fight. Wow. One thing I did notice that Benaya was not autoing nearly as much as he needed to on Kled. He could have easily gotten Skarl back and potentially turned the fight even more to Bandito's favor.
Ziggy has been throwing out a ton of hooks this matchup so far, but he's now going to be stuck between the support and the misfortune, and he has to flash out to his 80 carry, and she lands a nice crit, but that's not going to be enough. These 80 carries have been just duking it out here in the bottom lane, and this is, I think, more on the fact that Ziggy's been played extremely aggressive, whether it be leaving lane to try and help snowball top or, get mid into a better position, and therefore leaving Jinx out by herself, and she's fended off pretty decently. But not perfectly, as she has died a couple of times.
Yeah, we'll tell that to Bard.
Who's just going so deep.
A little too deep. No, I definitely agree about Ziggy. He's an aggressive player no matter what role he's playing. He just, he wants to get in there. He wants to get things done as quickly as possible. And
with the bottom lane taken, it looks like the Banditos are going to focus 4 or 5 of their members here into this mid lane as we see a teleport coming out from the Malphite, and Warwick pops the fear, not hitting anyone. Looks like we may be hitting into that ARAM time at the 20 minutes. Also, the dragon has spawned. No one is really particularly want to go for it. Now, there's vision kind of scattered sporadically, and it's kind of overlapping on both teams, not necessarily giving either team a full advantage.
Banditos definitely does not want to ARAM it here, regardless of the silver mentality. Banditos will lose any 5v5.
Well,
unless there's major outplays coming up from Banditos or major misplays coming from Amar.
I think they're going to trade the Dragon for mid-outer and top tier 2, which in my opinion is favorable. Getting this Jinx in on this tower, absolutely going to shred through this. Now, unless Malphite and the War can actually do some damage here with the help of Orianna and do a wombo combo, are they just going to take out the Gragas so far? Kled finishes off this tower.
3 ults for Gragas really bugs me. They should have tried to get an angle on also Malzahar, I think.
Well, they now have the priority here in mid lane. They're going to be the ones to be able to take this out. They did lose their top tier 2 for this, though, but I think since they get this tower, it's worth it for them.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more even, but Kled's coming in.
We'll see what Kled has to do. And ult, Bombard misses, and Warwick's going to go with the fear, try and get some stuff off as we see lots of damage coming out. They do not have ults to fire off in return, and Orianna is out of mana. Now, Malphite is here, but once again, no ults to try and push them off of this tower. If Jinx get anywhere closer, she's going to shred through that thing.
Oh man, that was really funny. Apparently Bard doesn't know that Kled's ult can't be cancelled by, he can't be disabled while traveling in his ult.
Well, it prevented anyone from following up on the ult as well. They had to veer around it. So, a zoning ultimate, if you say. But we will see how they get into this tower as some of these ults are going to be coming up. Ziggy's going to go in with the hook, and Gragas over the Dragon Pit wall with the Malzahar ult, and there's an exhaust coming out. Nice ult from Gragas, separates the Misfortune and Bard from the 2 front tank liners as Orianna had to come back from lane, and lands a 3-man shockwave with the bar Q, takes out 2 more members, but Bard's going to drop himself as Misfortune's trying to lay down some damage, and Bard's looking to get onto Kled. That's not going to happen. Jinx is going to get hyper, and we're going to see if she gets really hyper, and she does with yet another kill. She's going to go on a rampage here, finishing off the ace, and we'll be taking down this tower.
Whew, that was a lot. That was definitely a really good dive coming out from Banditos under mid-tier 1. I didn't think they were going to get the dive again under mid-tier 2. The Orianna shockwave was definitely disruptive, but Banditos came back in very surprising fashion.
And now they're just stealing away all of the jungle that they can before they can back. Kled, he wants to get Skarl's buddies back. Gragas stealing a blue buff here. With that being, Kled's going to farm this giant wave up here in top wave. How big is that? How big is that? Oh, that's a good almost 3 waves. Oh, so juicy. No one's here to stop you. You have Cleaver, and you have the Titanic Hydra. She just absolutely take all of that. The Wombo combo has not been timed up perfectly for disadvantaged leaguers that we've been looking for. And that's not saying that they can't do it, and it only takes one fight for this comp to absolutely just wreck house. But how confident are you that they're going to be able to pull it off here? We may be starting looking at Baron Dance here soon.
I think that their ultimates have been well timed. They just haven't been getting the angles that they need.
Ziggy with a great lantern trying to save Kled. Not going to be enough as Oriana is going to finish them off with a shockwave there. So 4 ults used to take out the really fed Kled, but had
3.
Misfortune, Warwick, Oriana.
Yeah.
Okay, 3. I can't count.
It's okay.
But this is where we're looking, right? We're at the 25-minute mark. We've passed the early game. We've gone deep into the mid game here. We're basically transitioning into early late game, or late game is Gragas is Vance. He needs to dance because he's gonna die. It's game 1, everyone. The jokes they're very far and few in between for being good. So we're gonna 5-minute in top lane now. I mean, with the Wombo combo, this is kind of what you want to do, right? You have the Mountain Drake.
They definitely have some sieging potential.
Oriana's laying a ton of damage down right now.
I think the ults are coming back up. You can just bait Baron here.
Now they do have someone to want to. Jeez, Ziggy going up over that wall, looking to take away the Gromp there. As we see, they're fighting over the Scuttle, taking that out. Now this bottom wave, real quick. Whee! That was... Oh, there's 2 cannons in that wave. That is a nice giant wave that someone's going to have to deal with, because that thing will probably take down 1 to 2, or even maybe half the health of that tower if it crashes into it fully.
Yep, looks like Oriana... Nope. Okay, Malphite's going to go deal with it.
He does have teleport up, so the key is now... The problem with Malphite teleport is it shows he's coming, and B... It allows them to give him time to separate it, unless you can get a nice TP on a flank ward. Doesn't seem to be a lot of flank wards. A lot more vision back in that river area for both these teams, just trying to establish control.
Yeah, just resetting the map here for
second
disadvantaged leaguers.
Yeah. Second Mountain Drake coming up next.
That should be interesting. Maybe there will be an objective trade here. Oh, they're going to start the Baron.
They are in on the Baron, and Misfortune's going to lay some poke.
Malphite teleport coming in.
Yep.
This, yeah, they have to
good disengage.
Yep, they force the TP out.
And now they can, if they keep their vision priority of this, they will have control of this. And they already have the tier 2s down in top and mid, so they should be good position of that. But with that though, the bottom half of the map is dark, and it looks like disadvantaged leaguers, they're gonna go for this second Mountain Dragon.
Yep, they are gonna melt through objectives with Oriana Misfortune. Turrets, Barons.
Now they have to get there. The Mountain Dragon only helps you if you get there, so it doesn't really help you if you're behind, other than maybe that additional damage going in. Now, Warwick has out-farmed Gragas here by about 50 CS, but he's up 2 full levels here, and he's up over 2,000 gold if we just sort of touch base, just kind of look at that, while Kled is the one leading the team on his way for the largest gap, where he is about, over 3,000 up for his side. And he does have a GA, so not only do you have to kill him, and you have to kill Skarl, then kill Kled, then he respawns, comes back. As we see Ziggy with the hook, and he's going to go in. Flash out from Malphite. Is anyone ever going to wonder if, bait one of these hooks from Ziggy here coming out? Because he's going in every time.
Maybe it'll dawn at them. I did kind of chuckle at the fact that Jinx, instead of hitting the ward behind Baron, she procced Baron.
Oh, jeez. Well, now that Kled has the teleport priority, he is going to be a split-pushing monster. As we see, the tanks have gotten a little bit separated from their backline in the disadvantaged leaguers. Ziggy's he's just playing defense here as maybe they want to go in on this. Oh, they do, and there's a great shockwave into bullet time, and there's the ult by Gragas, but I don't think it's going to matter as Work's going to come in. Kled's going to come in. He's going to come in, but I don't think it's going to be enough as Eevee is actually been taken down, and Kled, he does have Guardian Angel, so he's going to have Ziggy with the nice flight on 2 or 3 members, and there's the flash out, trying to get on the Misfortune, as she's trying to lay down as much damage as possible, as Oriana's going to go in for the flash QW. That's not enough. Ziggy's going to finish that one off, and Skarl's not going to be able to come back for the Kled. There's the Bard ult, which was saved the entire time as they are running away. Misfortune trying to lay down some slow field, and a nice slow coming out on the side of Bard as Malzahar and Gragas run up mid lane here. This bottom tier 2 is taking a lot of damage. I don't think they can Baron. I don't think they have the damage coming out from the Malzahar here, but they're definitely going to have control and be able to place down the vision that they want.
In the end, I think it was a little bit better for disadvantaged leaguers there. Even though they engaged, it was turned around on them. It only ended up being a 2 for 2, which always favors the team that's behind.
And favors them because they got rid of the Guardian Angel, and it looks like we're going to see a nice double stun out as the Work has come back to life. Bard thrown out. They've got 2 Greedy going for the red steel, and Bard with the stun, and now the Magical Journey takes a double kill, and with the mid laner and the jungler gone, and a flash Q in onto Ziggy. He's going to yellow Thresh Flays backwards. Warwick has just got so much speed because, you know, you're low health, and he gets to run very, very fast, and the heal coming now out from Jinx with the help, and there's the ult from Warwick. They probably finishes this one off. They should do Baron right now.
Ooh, disadvantaged leaguers definitely coming back. They're only behind about 600-700 gold now, and they're going to start the Baron up because it's 5v2.
Kled can try and go in here and blaze some preventative damage. Maybe we can get a lucky Jinx rocket, but there was no try apparently in that Jinx rocket. Now with Baron and the disadvantaged leaguers and the doubled Baron, Mountain Dragons, they get to these towers. They are going to absolutely hurt.
Yep. Malzahar can only do so much.
Yeah, his close damage, and just look absolutely ripped through this. Gragas throwing out the ult, so there is no counter engage as it goes down. Hook comes out from Ziggy. He actually does take this one in, and they're going to absolutely take out the Bard, but the Malphite ult in return actually knocks 3 of them up, so Bard's going to escape. Misfortune ult comes back over the gate from Thresh, going to fish that one out. Bard is running for his life. The heals OP apparently, and Magical Journey is away. Kled cannot deal enough, and Skarl runs for his life. He's going to go down. But this time, time for Jinx and Malzahar to push out that minion wave, so there wasn't 2 minion waves crashing in on that tower. Now there's just going to be the one coming in, and I don't know if they're going to have the wave clear here. Gragas ult may be up here quickly, though.
Oh, I'm shocked that Bard got out of that alive. Oof.
Yeah, well, Warwick comes down here with the double. This is a 3 minion wave down here. And if they wanted to, they could probably push this in. Looks like they're going to send some people back to buy. Is maybe want to hit some key item points here. And Misfortune's going to push in the top wave. So they're trying to decide on where they're going to want to go after this.
Banditos are in a rough spot. They were in the lead for most of the game. But like I said, it's getting to that 30-minute or past that 30-minute mark. And disadvantaged leaguers comp just outscales. Banditos tried to push the tempo as much as they could, but they couldn't push it nearly hard enough to where their comp was actually going to work. The only way Banditos win that I can foresee is if they get the outplay on a team fight.
Well, they had the Kled split push going, and they just, when he's split putting, they can't get hard engaged on, and they can get really hard engaged on really easy with a Malphite, a Warwick, and Oriana, or a Kled, or a Misfortune, Bard with Misfortune, right? There's so much way for them to engage rather quickly that the Kled split push that they have the advantage in is just not worthwhile at the moment.
Yeah. Kled's recalling they know where they're going to go for the dragon right now, which is another Ocean. Ocean doesn't do anything at 34 minutes.
No, it is legitimately just so the other team can't get it is the only reason why they're taking it off the map.
Yep. And this way the Elder Dragon comes up quicker.
And that helps, but they did send, I think, too many people there, and they went with Thresh to try to push up a lane as well. And Kled, we'll see if he's going to be able to get in on this tower. They're countering with Warwick down in the bot lane. I'm not sure if that's necessary. They do still have Baron, so they should be trying to use Baron aspect to push in and take out one of these inhibitor towers. But they may want to wait till the next to Baron to do that, as we see Vance getting hit by Avant-Garde, and they just trade some Q damage.
Banditos are trying, man. They're trying to get back in this, but it's an uphill battle for them.
Well, Jinx is almost to the point where, if she gets hyper in one of these team fights, it's gonna go real fast. And Orianna doesn't have any armor yet. Misfortune, right, is doing a dueling build here with the Death Stance, that type of build. Malphite finally got some health in the Sunfire, but not really enough. Ziggy, he's going all in no matter what, so his team's better be ready to follow up. The Gragas, though, only with the 2.5 items or the 3 items compared to, the Warwick, who's got a full additional item on him, is really, I think, where it may end impacting the most, where if Warwick is just will be able to do more damage and sustain longer than Gragas will in this fight. He's also 3 levels up if it does come down to a Baron Smite fight. Those 3 additional levels right now are going to be really impactful. In fact, Warwick is the highest leveled champion in the game right now.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're 8, 3, and 10 with 181 CS. But where is Gragas' Spirit Visage? Abyssal Mask is a strong item right now, but Gragas gets so much value out of Spirit Visage, not just through the stats, but through the passive. Makes his passive even stronger. I don't know a Gragas who doesn't build Spirit Visage that's, worth its salt.
I know one that built Spirit Visage that wasn't supposed to.
Wait, what?
In the LCS, guy would, what was his name?
Oh, was it Lyra?
Yeah, we got going up against 480 champions, and Flash Hook onto Malphite as he's going to flash away, and it looks like we may have a bit of a base race. We'll see who wants to do more. I'm going to put my bet on the team with the 2 Mountain Dragons. They're going to be able to do better in this base race.
For sure. They're just going to shred through this. There's nothing that Banditos can do. They could probably get the inhibitor without being punished. But they do have 2 top trying to push.
Oh, that's a great hook in onto the Orianna, and there's just going to finish off, but there's the heals and Redemption coming out with the shields, and that's going to be able to keep alive, as there's the Orianna ult, just throwing off as disengaged, as we see Eevee is Bay, is just trying to take down, as Malphite actually is just laying the woodshed, but actually I think that was more of the tower dealing damage to the Gragas, who, once again, the Sunfire was proccing on him, so he was the one taking tower shots, while Kled was trying to finish it off. There is no trade going on in top lane, and Baron is spawning in under a minute.
Banditos defend as much as they could, but the 2v1, they couldn't get any objectives. They only got some damage a little bit onto the top tier 3, while disadvantaged leaguers get an entire turret and inhibitor. They're just Banditos are just being bled out of this game.
Now, as you talked about that late game power of the the Orianna Misfortune Malphite, that wombo combo, or just layering of the ultimates even in the draft phase, compared to the more like pick mid game combo team that the Banditos went for. Have they just run out of time? Or is this something where they can still outplay? I mean, like I said, if Jinx does get lucky and gets hyper.
Yeah, it's one of those, everyone falls off. Well, I shouldn't say everyone. Thresh and Kled fall off. And Gragas' damage falls off. He just becomes a tank. They're starting a Baron. And,
they are giving up Baron, and it looks like, but they don't have priority in mid lane, and this is what Mark Z absolutely hates about FlyQuest, because they we're good, and Malphite's just going to teleport in onto the minion and just go straight in onto the 5-man, and there's the Redemption to try and keep him there. Misfortune ult doesn't land on anything. Oh, that's a great 3-man Bard ult, keeping them all stuck, and Jinx is not able to get hyper. Gragas tries to do a disengage, so that's not going to be helpful anymore, as Bard is now here, and with 1 Q, they're stuck onto a wall. They have Baron. They've taken out Vance. Kled is the only one left alive. We are looking at probably the end of game 1.
Disadvantaged Leaguers definitely follow up on the Malphite there, but that misfortune ult was kind of a unfortunate ult there. Didn't hit anyone.
It doesn't matter. That Bard ult kept all 3 of them right there, so they could just walk right up and finish it out.
And yeah, they just ran out of time. They Mark Z, like you said, warned us about this. They didn't do it properly, and they get punished for it.
Yeah, the mid priority sometimes does matter. We try and bring a little comparison to the pro level game into our own. It makes us all feel better. Makes myself feel better. To quote the Smarters. So it looks like they're going to do a full around the horn here, take everything out, and they're going to go full in, and Malzahar is going to get in on the Misfortune, and she's going to have to flash and heal out as we just see Rampage being thrown by everyone. Ults coming out in the Wombo combo. It looks like they are doing its job while Kled is in the back trying to do anything, and it's not happening. Thresh is doing an okay job of trying to peel people off, but now Kled is stuck all the way back here and is going to be finished off by the Warwick, and there's the hook. Ziggy still follows that one in, trying to get Malphite in the tower, and there's the Bard ult onto tower, so they can tower dive even further. Misfortune ult's going to come across. Gragas is now back to life, trying to help his team, but that's not going to be enough as they finish off 1-2 at towers, and that's going to be the end of game 1.
Whew. Definitely Disadvantaged Leaguers playing to their comp. They waited until 25-30 minutes when their comp comes online, and they just smashed Banditos there.
So quick, just sort of as you guys look at the scoreboard here, and we'll kind of touch base on a few things. So first off, Disadvantaged Leaguers win game 1, first game of the season, in pretty impactful fashion. They were, had that mid-game lull, but, after some good team play, we're able to pull it together and just start, doing those Wombo combos, smashing houses, and they landed their ults together, and they won those team fights, and I think that's sort of how they pulled it up. So as we go to the next things, what else do you want to touch on, Blitz?
I just looked at the total damage to champions, and Orianna smashed everyone in damage. Like almost 33k damage. The closest one was Malzahar over on Banditos for 23,500 damage.
Yeah, that Orianna damage was absolutely really impressive. And the Malphite going, had so much damage as well. His ults were pretty impactful. He got a lot of 2 and 3, 4-man ults in team fights. And when that happens, Malphite then hits the Grand Slam. And that Sunfire Cape and the Frost, Frozen Fist, this absolutely just starts wrecking house.
Malphite did as much damage as both ADCs.
Yeah, that can happen when the tank doesn't go full tank and went a little bit more damage focus on the side of Evia's Bay there. So,
but maybe that's because maybe we shouldn't be giving props to Evia's Bay. Maybe we should say, hey, neither ADC is really doing their job because they're not getting in that much damage in team fights. Like Jinx on Last Train to Busan was just getting wrecked in team fights. She was the second one to die.
Yeah, so it is. So while we have kind of a little lull in here while they get the next games going and we look at some other stats, I'd like to look at the Vision stat. We're going to, one of the things we like to do is bring in not only our own opinion, but other people's opinions too. So Miner, come on in. Is he here?
He's in the general. I did just get invited to the next match channel, though.
That's fine. Miner, what's up?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm just watching your beautiful commentary, loving it.
Of course. Gotta bring the best quality content outside of Riot Games,
That's right. So spectating, what'd you think? Game 1, new season.
Man, I love the energy. I really liked the two teams really going at it and battling. For the first 20 minutes, they were dead even. And, yeah, we saw I believe it was the developmental leaguers just not quite holding on. Am I getting the teams right there?
Disadvantaged leaguers were the team that
The
won.
disadvantaged leaguers. I'm sorry. The developmental is a different
Yeah.
team.
Different team.
Couldn't quite hold on to get their full scaling with the Kled and the Jinx to come online because they take a lot of items, and just the I think it was the complexity of their team comp was much harder than we're gonna run at you and push R that the wannabe Banditos chose, right? Because if Malphite hits you, oh, I'm sorry. So the disadvantaged leaguers, if the Malphite hits you, then the rest of the combo is guaranteed to hit. So that's, and the same, like if Ori hits, the rest of the combo is going to hit. So if one person hits that combo, then the rest of their damage is guaranteed. Whereas for the other team comp, you kind of have to kite back, let your Kled split push, because you can't really answer the Kled split push. Yeah, you can send Malphite up, and at that point in the game, Kled couldn't 1v1 the Malphite, but he can shove the lane and walk back and or ult back to the 4v4, making it a 5v4 much faster than the Malphite can. And once you do that and get TP advantage, that's really the game that they wanted to play, but it's a much more complex game.
So what would you like to see out of wannabe Banditos going into second game?
I would really like to see I would like to see their mid laner really push up and help their jungler. I saw that the Gragas was doing a few invades without mid lane pressure and getting collapsed upon. He didn't die either time, but you can tell he's wanting to be aggressive in the early game, and the team comp really isn't allowing it. And by the way, great job from the Banditos, I believe, collapsing to not allow him to have that pressure. But yeah, that's what I'd like to see, and just more vision, because that Warwick played a very, very good game coordinating with the rest of his team, making sure to go in when his laner was ready for a gank. So he was never trying to force a gank on an empty lane. He would just wait for the opponent to come up, get that one juicy CS, go in. A lot of times he even did an early ult, which is not great for Warwick, but it's just a setup. As long as you can hit it, the rest of your team just gets to follow up, and you get guaranteed damage, guaranteed kill. And the Warwick really was key to making this, making the game go smoothly and get past that early game hump that they seemed to have. And once they got over that, got rolling, got a few items, and were able to really snowball move as 5, the team comp really took off, and they put the pedal down and just accelerated out of control.
Well, that was a good way of looking at it. The disadvantaged leaguers just wombo it up again.
I mean, why not make them prove that they can beat it, because they had the way better split pusher. And if Kled ever gets like a level 1, 2, or 3 kill against a Malphite, that Malphite's lane is completely done. So props to Eevee's Bay for not letting that happen. Yeah, they had a few early kills back and forth, but the Malphite was able to always have enough armor that the Kled could not just jump on him and kill him.
Well, we got a little bit of change-ups here so far in the bans. They decided to ban the Hecarim on the side of disadvantaged leaguers instead of, I can't remember what their third ban was in the first one, but then, the wannabe Banditos banned the Warwick as well as the Caitlyn and Gnar. So,
But but the Orianna was picked up again, and
Yeah.
that's just the start of the Wombo.
Yeah, and he's a good Orianna player. He did a lot of damage, and he knew how to play the lane. I like to max shield a little bit more when I'm playing against a Malzahar because you just can't poke him out because of that stupid passive. But he played it really well, even not maxing shield. So.
Well, Thad the Destroyer is going to go in the Cassiopeia, and Vance is going to get Zac.
Whew, Zac is a really strong pick. I was surprised that it got through the picks bans last game.
Now that you mention it, it did get through pick bans. Interesting. And Galio got through as well, as we'll see. Death by Cow is going to get on the Varus and Avant-Garde, taking the Thresh away from Ziggy. They probably didn't want to see any more of Ziggy just come flying at him.
I don't think all teams prioritize Galio nearly as much as your guys.
Hey. Well, the LCS...
Trying out new comps with the Galio.
The LCS it states otherwise. So,
Yeah, that's true.
as we to finish up the round here, it looks like Nami is the final support here, going in the pick, and we're into the second round of ban phase.
Which is
Now,
not
I
here.
do like those 3 picks because all 3 of them are really anti-Wombo. The Zac can jump in and ult people. He doesn't even have to ult them into their team, just into a different position. Obviously, Nami Wave for disengage, and Cassiopeia ult. You can't just jump on Cassiopeia because you're all gonna die in that 1.5 second stun.
Well, they also have now banned out the hard engagers of Vi and Nocturne, which both have ults that say, I'm getting to your AD carry instantly, whereas the disadvantaged leaguers get rid of the Swain and the Kled, so EVS Bay did not want to deal with that Kled again back in the top lane.
Benaya was like the only way they could possibly get in the game, so they're trying to prevent that as much as possible.
And we will see on what the last train the Busan's going to go. He's going to go with the Jinx again, so that must be a real comfort pick for him or herself. I guess I don't know.
I wasn't too impressed with the Jinx. The Jinx didn't do bad, per se, but last train to Busan was just getting caught so much in team fights. I'm just really worried about the positioning.
And
Much
Raji
time.
has pulled out Evelyn, and EVS Bay is looking to play Fizz.
I'm a big fan of Top Fizz. I'm sure a lot of people aren't.
You can leave now.
I play Top Fizz, so I'm gonna enjoy this. Depending on the lane matchup, it could be very interesting. It's
Well,
definitely going to be more interesting than Kled Malphite.
Sion.
That's a
Or not.
really
Or not.
strange team comp, though. Orianna, Varus, Thresh, Eve, Fizz. They don't have a true tank. Fizz is kind of tanky. Thresh is kind of tanky. And Eve is just going to be an assassin.
They're looking for mid-game picks galore.
Yeah, they just, like, what is this? Blue side is pit comp, red side is team fight? Like, what is this?
Apparently.
They just kind of switched comps.
Yeah.
Different champions.
I mean, Sion, Zac, Cassiopeia, Jinx, Nami, those are all team fighting, wanting to be meshed with other teammates mix. Well, we got Fizz, Evelyn. They want to be off kind of doing their own thing. Orianna can fall into that same boat sometimes. Varus has a long-range pick. Thresh can, also be along those same lines. So it's going to be a very interesting that both teams now, Blitz just said, swapped their team comp and strategies.
Yeah. And just like last game, the team comp that is more cohesive and easier to accomplish, I'm not going to say it should win, but it has a higher chance of winning because the enemy team has to play that much better to overcome the ease at which the team comp meshes together.
Banditos even have an option to split push. Sion, not that bad of a split pusher, so they could they have enough of a 1-4 comp there where they can pull that off.
Now, will Cyan ever be able to 1v1 a Fizz, or
No.
is he just going
No.
to be able to clear the wave and then back?
Clear the wave and leave.
Yeah.
Unless
Cyan
Fizz
in the
does a
late
bunch
game
of...
can.
Yeah, unless Fizz, decides that his troll pull is for something else other than
But,
for what it's,
the only way that Eevee's Bay loses this lane is if Zach camps. Or there's a lot of, like, mid-roams, for example.
He can go down a lot of CS if he's not careful, though. Cyan
Yeah,
does
but
have a lot
Fizz-
of wave clear.
Fizz is a champion where he can go down 20, 30 CS and he's perfectly fine. He's a champion that
Now-
has built-in
Yeah.
gold efficiency.
Yeah.
Now, something that, while the top lane might not favor the Scion, the Cassiopeia into Orianna, if the Cassiopeia is good and can hit the Qs, that is a nightmare
Orianna,
for
agreed.
Orianna. Especially because Orianna did not take Ghost. She took Cleanse, and you can cleanse the Cassiopeia ult, but when Cass hits you with that Q, starts hitting you with the E's, and the Storm Raider surge procs in, you're dead.
Yeah, well, apparently in spectator mode, I can't see what the right team took for sums. I'm going to guess they took flashes.
It looks like, looks like
Flash
Cassiopeia also
does.
took cleanse, what I can tell.
Cleanse the Varus ult.
I guess for the Thresh and Varus.
Interesting. Cassiopeias usually want to take Ghost, so we'll see how the summoners go for the mid lane. So, Miner, before you leave us, any predictions on how Game 2 is going to go?
I'm actually predicting that the Zac will camp bot lane, and bot lane will really accelerate the game, because the Jinx is going to get pushed in, but that's exactly where Zac wants that lane. So, let's see if that happens. Bold prediction.
That is a bold prediction going in. So thank you very much for joining us at halftime here between the Game 1 and Game 2. And we're going to be jumping on in here as we get loaded in.
Yep, have a good game too, guys.
So as we get loaded into the map here, we're on the blue side. We will be having the wannabe Banditos, and on the red side, we will be playing with the disadvantaged Leaguers. So please load faster so I can say their names, because I don't have them memorized. Disadvantaged Leaguers is on the blue side with Eevee's Bay up top. Yeah, disadvantaged Leaguers on blue.
Nope, disadvantage leaders on red. You and Miner with your team names. Whew, no, it's
No, disadvantaged Leaguers is on blue side.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, Eevee's
Oh,
Bay is
wow,
up top
I
on
know.
Fizz. Rajay we still can't pronounce that name. By we, I mean I. Playing Eve jungle, we have Switchy back on Orianna midline. Death by Cows pulling out the Varus AD carry, and Vanguard on Thresh support. We have Bien Lion Power on Cyan up top. Vance playing Zac jungle. Thad the Destroyer on Cassiopeia. Last Train the Busan on AD carry Jinx. And Ziggy with support Nami with Ignite. We didn't take Ignite on Thresh, so he was in range all the time to Ignite anyone because he was next to everyone.
I did call it, though. Cassiopeia did take cleanse. Probably for the bot lane CC. You can't really cleanse anything of Orianna's. I mean, you could cleanse the slow on the W, but that's about it. Yeah, you can only cleanse bot lane.
Yeah. Interesting that we don't see either an invade of some sort to figure out where this Evelynn is going to be starting and her possible gank routes, gank pass, because Evelynn is one of those sneaky champions that can dominate the bottom 2/3 or top 2/3, depending on how you want to look at it, of the rank ladder. Out of the jungle, a good Eve player is absolutely demonstrative. But once you get into team play, and you have a little bit more coordination, sometimes it's a little bit easier to deal with the Evelynn.
I mean, just look at FlyQuest. They play Evelynn. They'll go super hot. Yeah, definitely it's a solo queue pick. Solo queue players apparently don't know what control works, and so they just get ganked over and over again.
Not only is it control wards, it's placing wards on or near buffs near you, so you do have to go a little bit deeper with your vision. But I think that's rather important, especially to get this started. So up top we have Beyond Lounge Power started Doran's Ring.
I've seen some Scions do that. You need the mana regen on Scion.
You do.
You could have gone Corrupting Potion, though.
You could have go Corrupting Potion. Or you can go the new Dorn Shield and just not use your abilities as much to help CS. So
against the Fizz, I mean, it's not that bad. I don't think.
It's not terrible. I mean, it does give you the health. And does any of his abilities scale off of AP anymore after the
his
rework?
E scales, and I think his W does. I could be wrong about E, but I know
His
for sure E does.
Yeah, the whole +1 ability power. So we see Ziggy having to flash already in this bot lane after being hooked and flayed by Avant-Garde. So action going pretty impact as we debate the pros and cons of Doran's Ring Scion in top.
Well, I mean, I'll give you an example. A lot of Gangplanks go Doran's Ring first. Only Orange just scales off of AP.
Ult does as well.
Oh, does his ult?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Well, you're using the Doran's Ring because you desperately need mana.
Yeah.
And Scion can be mana hungry as well. It just is on how much, like I said, you want to be spamming your abilities. As we see, Evelyn clearing out a ward for Eevee up in top lane. So everyone should know where the Evelyn is currently. But after about 10 seconds, now you just can vaguely guess on where she's running around at.
I think she's looking to contest Zac a little bit.
You're right, she might, and Zac does get off with the heal, and then she's going to go straight in here and just get the advantage. Does pop. Oh, she popped the bubbles, but flashes over the wall. I don't know if she's going to be able to finish it off in time. She is going to finish off with the first blood. Oh, jeez. Just barely got it. Cassiopeia was not able to come back to help her jungler in time.
Yeah. It's unfortunate there for Vance, but hey, did get the flash. If I was Evelyn, I'd just say, hey, style points, you know?
Jeez. Well, it did look like he was going to jump over the wall, but he died mid-air, so he's, all of his bloblets stayed on the one side. As that go down, as Cassiopeia has absolutely been ran out of mana. She is going to be up in CS after this wave crashes in the tower, but with no mana and no support from the jungler for the next little bit here, she's going to have to play this careful. She takes another QW combo to the face and is now taken down to the tiniest bit of health. And now Fizz is laying the poke.
See, I don't mind watching these top lane trades. That's how much I love Fizz.
Yeah. Okay, let's look back at bot lane. As we see Death by Cows with the minion and a wave and a half here getting pushed into him. Trying to get up some nice, just place some catch-up CS here and have the, before the Jinx could get going on her side. Thresh looks like does some little bit of warding in the river here. Now Evelyn, other than that nice invade, was able to back and get boots and her jungle items, so definitely real big advantage. I think that's the biggest advantage right now, and sometimes it's just the fear of the Evelyn showing up that can start playing with the minds of the, the banditos.
Yep.
No, so Avant-Garde is going to just walk right into... But Vance is here, but so is Evelyn, so this is going to be a real quick, and it looks like we get a bubble on, but there's the Thresh hook and the flash now. Exhaust landed onto Jinx. Would have been on... Oh, no, ult by Orianna, flash, and Switchy's going to miss the audio tech, but has the ability to pull the E back in for the heal. Evelyn's going to go wrap around, and Zac you didn't stay by your tower, now you're dead.
Raj here is just reading Vance like a book right now. This is the jungle matchups I like to see. Unfortunately, I like Vance and all, but...
Well, I would love to see him too, but I can't find Evelyn. I don't know where she is. As oh no, Thresh going in here, and Ziggy's gonna try to go all in because Cyan is teleported to the bot lane, and there's ignites going off, and there goes Las Busan. You know, make a super short name as Flash comes out on the side. There's the ult from you know, the Scion. They really want to get this Jinx ahead. They want to get their hyper carry going. Zac is going to jump in onto a pink ward because he's baller like that. And now Evelyn has to run from the Scion because there are 4 members here.
So far, this game has been about like Evelyn versus Jinx almost. Like Evelyn on the side of disadvantaged leaguers has been just up Vance's you know, rear end, so to speak, but Jinx has been gifted 2 free kills basically in the bot lane.
Yeah, and those you know assists did go over to the Scion, who did lose a bunch up in his top wave here, and but he's going to be able to make it back just in time to gain some of that CCS and that experience back, and he didn't actually lose that much damage on his tower, so other than being slightly behind in lane, he's all set.
We have blue gifted over to Cassiopeia, which is definitely going to help.
Hopefully help, as Orianna has been getting the much better of the trades here in mid lane, and if she goes in for another combo again, Cassiopeia may be in trouble, as she only has a tier now, and you know, while Orianna has finished that last chapter and was able to pick up boots.
Oh
What?
beautiful.
I'm watching mid laners here.
I was watching top.
Did you say Fizz? Fizz? Yeah. What about Fizz in
Fizz got the solo kill on Scion.
That's very nice. Zac's going to get a double kill down here in bot line because there's a nice double bubble by Ziggy, and there's a flay from Avantgarde. That's not going to be enough. Jinx Rock going to come out and is going to be blocked by Avantgarde. That's going to be, and the hook misses as Vance tanked like 3 tower shots in a row. So the non-coordination of just focusing one person down means Last Train does not pick up another kill, and you know, Miner's prediction of Zac going in kind of partially true.
I think your prediction of a double kill was also wrong there.
Yes, also brutally wrong. My prediction of Fizz being near cancer in top lane, still true.
Why do you hate Fizz top so much? Or is it just Fizz in general?
Troll pull. Same reason why I hate Vlad. Troll pull.
Oh, you don't like people going invulnerable?
Oh no,
like
Zhonya's is great. No, it's actually the mobility on the pole that I think is the most ridiculous part. Like Vlad's more acceptable because he gets a little bit of a speed up like run, but he can't like double go over walls. As Evelyn's getting dirty with the farming of the jungle, and Vance is like, I've seen this before. I don't want any part of that jungle, Evelyn, and he's just going to back it all the way out. Pink Ward was taken out, but Orianna is making Cassiopeia play on the bottom half of this lane here, and Zac's like, I don't have anywhere to go. No one's going to help me. Scion's like, I'm going to die the Fizz again. As we look back in here, maybe Raj is going to pull it all the way out. No, the whole bot Nami's here. Ziggy's here to help the jungler get the red buff, so good job. Good teamwork here. Once again, Ziggy is left lane to support his laners as Fizz is going to go in. Oh, this is not looking good. There's 1 knock-up and 2 knock-up. And see, there's the troll pull. Just absolutely, dicking over the nice teamwork they had there. As Orianna is going to throw out the shockwave, nearly take out the Scion here. It's by Cassiopeia into the knock-up there, and you can't troll pull through that because you're grounded, buddy, as Zac jumps away from Orianna's nice Q, and Orianna's going to continue the trade. Cleanse actually comes out on the side of Cassiopeia. Not sure why. Probably maybe was maybe looking to do flash, but she's going to run out of there safely. The same with Nami, who's going to heal up Zac while I traded out. Let's check in on 80 carries. They're farming in bot lane. Okay, done with them. Back to top lane. Well, Evelyn is going to try and push that wave in, but Zion's teleporting back in.
Somehow the ADCs just became the top laners in pro play. Hey, they're just farming.
This is just a repeat of the last game where the supports ended up leaving, and Thresh is looking for a dirty hook. Like, come on, which one's Thresh? Where are you? There you are, buddy. Avant-Garde sitting in that tri-bush, looking to try and get one over the wall.
He's impatient.
You know, well, I think that was for his best. Trying to get back to lane, get a little bit of experience going on here as we kind of touch base on the whole situation. So Evelyn's up 30 CS at 11-12 minutes, which is extremely impressive. And in fact, the CS numbers for disadvantaged leaguers is up across the board. But you would kind of expect that for their lane matchups. So how much longer is it going to be till we see the Banditos and their teamwork play really take a hold?
It really depends what happens after they get out of laning phase. Because really both team comps likes getting out of laning phase. You know, maybe not as much the Fizz and Evelyn. So, Banditos are really just, like last game on the side of disadvantaged leaguers, they're waiting for 25-30 minutes to hit.
Mm-hmm.
They want the Evelyn to fall off, they want the Fizz to fall off slightly, and they want their team comps to turn on.
Orianna is absolutely just auto-attacking this Cassiopeia, who's picked up a ring, the Dark Seal ring, to help with the, ability to regen with some pots here as we see Fizz, just destroying tank Scion. Evelyn may be going for a gank here in the bot lane. She is invisible, but this back lane is backing way off. Zach has been hiding in the bush. I think he was hiding in on a ward, though. So he was seen. He's going to head back to the jungle. Next dragon to spawn, and we got yet another Ocean. And mid lane, Cassiopeia is probably going to die. Orianna Shockwave. Landed.
Orianna, wasn't hit by the ult, but cleansed anyways.
Well, she's going to just run Cassiopeia back to her tier 2. So Zach maybe going to come over the wall here to get some CS and just make sure Orianna doesn't take the first brick down here and clap some minions together with Orianna. That's always funny. Zach is just a fun champion to watch and play, unless he's on the other team.
Yeah, he's one of the most banned currently, most banned champion in competitive play in every region.
Well, Evelyn is going for a solo attempt on Dragon. I did not know Evelyn could do that, and Zach jumps in with the help of the Nami ult and just absolutely destroyed her. So while Evelyn's been doing an excellent job farming champion Zach, and here's Fizz with the teleport here. It's onto Nami. Nami's going to go down. The hook comes out, and that is a dead Jinx. Zach getting exhausted, and Fizz is now auto-attacking, and he's going to be bounced up and down, and now he gets into Bloblets. They're going to be able to shield, pop these up, shield from Thresh, helping up. That one's taken by Evia's Bay. That's a cleanup. That's, what, did he just get 3 kills or 2 there?
I believe... Oh no, Orianna got the kill on Nami.
Okay, so just 2 kills for the Fizz, and the top laners, their teleports have been really good, really proactive. Now they did lose Evelyn and didn't get the dragon, as Evelyn's now going to try and fight Scion in 20 minions, so that's dumb. But she stopped that. I
mean, it's an Ocean Drake. It's not going to be a huge deal. It's kind of like, you know how EU hates Cloud Drakes? Well, NA hates Ocean Drakes right now. Unless
you're CLG, because you've gotten 3 of them in 3 games, and all 3 of those games you won.
Yeah, well, CLG needs a little buff right now. They're falling down. But,
we'll see what happens. We have some support ward battle contests going on right now, which is rather nice to see. And Zach actually takes the blue buff away from Cassiopeia, maybe by mistake, maybe by the little Cinderhelm. Cinderhulk. Cinderhelm was a guy. Used to do a bunch of League stuff. Really cool guy. So back to the farming of lanes. Both of these teams have really stuck it out in laning phase. We're still here at 16 minutes, and other than the one dragon, not a single tower is really looking at like 50% health. Oh, jeez. Evelyn not paying attention. She did get ignited, and there's the shield from Oriana. Zach's going to go in. Flash by Nami. Tried to land out. One more auto attack. Ziggy is going
Jinx
nuts,
also.
but Jinx gets taken out by the bot lane that followed up.
So does Zach.
Well, Nami is trying to blast off the ult, and she's trying to get healed up. Sion's going to come in from the side, hook out from Thresh. I'm not exactly sure, but my camera cut back to the Scuttle Crab for some dumb reason, and we're going to look at Sion get absolutely just try and take out, and Thad the Destroyer finishes off Oriana. But now it is Varus' time with, hey, what do you know? Fizz, just absolutely wrecking house. Fizz has now picked up yet another, well, this is his first triple kill of the game, and Sion kills some minions. That should be a free dragon. And now we got a
is my favorite at the moment.
6-1-1.
I like some good Fizz players. Really played that team fight really well. Dodging in and out of abilities. Banditos really just couldn't get a hold on, the slippery. I mean, they say Fizz is a fish, but he has arms and legs. So, what exactly is he?
Lore, he is a Yordle that was a fish.
What?
How, like, Nar's a prehistoric Yordle?
Okay.
Fizz is a fish Yordle.
Oh, okay.
In the lore, that's in my head. So,
Oh, gotcha.
I have no idea. He's just like Tom Kench and just like showed up one day, right? So
Fair enough.
the lore is sometimes magnificent and sometimes sketchy because Riot focuses on one thing at a time. Just glad we got spectator mode to work half the time. So looking in here, we still don't have any towers taken down, but the disadvantaged leaguers have taken almost a 5k gold lead here, and that's really mostly on the Fizz. I said almost 5.
4 is almost 5.
Well, it's more than 2. So we see a teleport now from Fizz get canceled. So
Because he didn't do it in a bush or underneath his turret.
yeah, well he should have canceled that. He would have been Nami bubbled. So
Fizz is going for Morello Namicon as top lane Fizz? What?
stop. I don't know. I don't play Fizz. So
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're supposed to build, like, tank. I mean, with the tank changes, tank Fizz isn't as good, so maybe it's just this hybrid Fizz.
well, he throws out the max range ult as he's going to go in here, and there's the dash in, a couple more autos, and Sion doesn't care. He's annoyed. Well, let's check back in on Evelyn as she's roaming around. The rate 2-3 level lead that she had over Zach has now been compressed down to 1. And while the CS basically has been stuck right at that 50-60 mark, she may be going for a tower dive here in onto Sion, but I don't know if that's the best idea, as she's just going to get absolutely double knocked up, and she's going to die for this, as they will finish off the Sion, but that's okay, as Zach's going to finish in here with the bubble and the E from, nice shockwave, nearly finishes off no one, but it was a nice way to disengage. Ignite takes down Oriana, so ganks trades, while 80 carries are once again farming in bot lane. Hey, they're down here farming. Let's go back to something action. We've done that like, 4 times? So they're used to it by now. But this is a full tower with no damage on it. I know, Zach, you have red buff, but you're Cassiopeia and a Zach.
They don't take
and Nami's going to take a full fish ult to the face as there's the ground that comes through as they're trying to get in onto, finish off the Cassiopeia onto the Fizz, but Thresh is going to try and finish that off. Orion, I don't want to look at you. Go back to this. Hook comes out from Thresh, and Zach's doing a great job. Nami with some peel bubbles. Evelyn is now shown up as they're going to run away, but here comes Sion. I don't know if he can do anything more than just peel, as Vance is just going to land some jump damage and flashes out. Great bubble again by Ziggy, who's shown he can hit skill shots all day long, and now the shield from Oriana. She's back in time. Just waste this as Evelyn is fighting, and Sion takes down that kill. Evelyn's trying to finish up. Stop doing crazy things, teams.
It's okay, you can take a breath now.
We're at 22 minutes and no one's taken a tower yet.
No, it's definitely a little bit slower of a pace, this game. mean, there's been a lot of kills, but no turrets.
Who does that favor?
This favors Banditos. They want to get to late game.
Evelyn is back on the counter jungle action, as she has been continuing to do that, but she keeps losing out, and she's now, given up 3 deaths, while Zach has given up 4, has also participated in more kills, and
I feel like I'm watching like an MVP versus Jin Air game or something, like
maybe
just like all action, no turrets being taken.
Well, right exactly at 22 minutes, Oriana with the autos takes the tower because they're handing over a blue buff to Cassiopeia.
Hey, first brick.
And now, Zach has to jump out because he was getting ganked in. And bot lane, Varus pushes harder than Jinx does before she gets Hurricane. So a lot more chip damage on there as we see Evelyn and Oriana down here. They maybe want to dive this with Thresh wrapping around. They're doing a wraparound on this tower, which is, a very low health. Once again, going back to the fact that Varus pushes harder than Jinx. So that was pretty well, set up for them to take up. But there's the Nami ult. As Sion had come in from the backline, and we're going to try and go big here. As Sion's trying to lay down as much CC as possible. As there's a flash bubble. Jinx rocket comes in. That's not going to really lay down a whole lot of damage. And Zach's going to jump in very far.
This is wrapping around.
Is wrapping around, but let's see. Jinx is going to be brought back in onto this Thresh, and she gets 1, 2, and nope. And that giant fish doesn't actually hit anyone, but Fizz is going to go in and take out one, but the ult from Cassiopeia comes out. Not enough damage to actually finish one off. Only the supports die. Dragon is up here in just a few seconds. We'll see if both teams want to stick around for it. I think they do. Now, who has ults left? Oriana has Shockwave, so there is 1 ult remaining left on these teams, and both junglers have Smite, so we'll see how they want to trade this. Maybe look to clear out some vision here.
What is this, just oceans and mountains this series?
Apparently, we have not seen anything other than an ocean or a mountain, as Varus does land a nice Q poke, but the Scuttle Crab was taken. Fizz gets a nice return auto attack, so return some health for vision in front of the dragon as everyone now fights over. Zach's going to go in, and he's going to be absolutely crushed by the 3 members. Fizz ult is back up again. Apparently we're going back in, and there is the Oriana Shockwave on the 3 members. Protobelt by the Evelyn with the help of, Fizz is absolutely wrecking it here. Sion went down, trying to lay some punches in the front line. That's not going to be enough as Jinx does get hooked, and there's the Nami ult just on the field. Bubble does get some pull. Zach trying to peel the best that he can, but that's not going to be enough. There's the Varus ult yet again. Their ults are on shorter cooldowns, and they were able to use them to the most effectiveness in this fight, taking a 4 kills for 1, and that should be a free dragon.
Whew. Disadvantaged Leaguers definitely outplaying Banditos there. That was a very well executed team fight in a small space. They're going to be rewarded with the Mountain Drake.
They are. So now that we'll have a fire next. Blitz.
Finally.
Fire!
Definitely Infernal Disadvantaged Leaguers are going to want to get their comp much... sorry, I blanked for a second. Their team comp likes Infernal Drake more than Banditos does. They have more champions that scale off of AD and AP. So, Disadvantaged Leaguers are definitely going to want to try to take that.
So Fizz now has a blasting wand and Ninja Tab
Hey, I dig it.
Okay, we're looking whatever. Trinity Force used to give AP. I guess maybe it still does. Not really. Top lane towers, though, unlike last game where top lane towers were focused really heavily and they went down pretty early, they have been up for the long time here. Well, we've only have 2 towers taken, and that looks like the supports are going to be doing some battle as Ziggy dodges the Thresh hook. Avant-Garde, let's go, buddy.
Good with Thresh.
Well, or Ziggy is just so good on Thresh, he knows what happens.
Ziggy's just better at Thresh. Avant-Garde's not landing that many hooks. I can't believe I'm saying it, but it kind of missed the Bard.
Oh, the Bard was pretty impactful, but we'll see what happens while Sion's getting ganked by the Evelyn, and there's a nice long-range hook, and the counter ult to counter that ult, and nothing happens.
Nope, that's the story of this game is, a lot of stuff just doesn't happen.
Well, we got 10 people on the top corner of the map at 26 minutes, and no one is even here. It looks like the Nami ult's going to go in, and they're going to try and get in onto this Orianna. As we now see, this is just Zach is going to throw. There's the Orianna ult with the Israel ult, and that flash in with the Varus ult on top of the Proto Belt. The AoE magic damage and impact is just so much better on the side of disadvantaged leaguers right now. Flash hook by Vanguard. He can land something, and he takes out Jinx with the help of Orianna. Zach trying to play down some peel, and they're going to try and clear out this minion wave. I don't think they should want to stick around. There's another giant fish ult, void ult, I don't know what you want to call this one, coming out on the side of Evia's Bay. So they're just trying to take this down. They're literally just face tanking this tier 1 tower. I know we're at like 20-30 minutes, but that's pretty impressive and slightly reckless.
Yep, 3-for-1 coming out for disadvantaged leaguers, and they're just constantly winning these team fights. And I'll be excited to see if Banditos can turn it around in probably 5-10 minutes when they can get some more items, scale up a little bit. But they're just... I don't know if it's the scaling. I think that disadvantaged leaguers are just mechanically better. They're outplaying them at pretty much every fight.
But they're looking like that was just it seems like a forced engage on the side of the Banditos, where that multiple season playing together and being a part of the same team, even if they've had a little bit of subs, but for the majority in their movements just better than the Banditos, who were just put together for this split.
Yep, I definitely agree that playing time together can definitely impact results, but you never know. Sometimes there's just something about new teams that can lead them to success.
Well, Dad the Destroyer is going to flash away from this Evelyn, who just popped the ult right away. Huge chunked out of Cassiopeia there, as we now look to get some Dragon Vision control, even though that's in 2 minutes, as Scion's going to flash out of that damage. And there's the Scion ult in return. It's going to get in onto Orianna, but Orianna's going to be able to take that Thresh Lantern out. And they're now fighting in a corridor, which is kind of maybe where they want to fight, especially if they can get him trapped. But as long as Fizz doesn't land that giant fish. And now they've split up. The tanks are away from the carries right now, and that is something very dangerous for the Banditos. They do not want to see that, as Nami is going to get hit by the Fizz, and there's enough. Cassiopeia ult does land the double slow, but not stun on that end, while we have Scion trying to fight off, Varus and Orianna off the tower here, as now, Evelyn also running, counter initiative in the jungle here. And they can't get wrapped around to this other side, and with them not getting there, they can't fight as 5, and that's what they really want to do.
Yep, they're just so behind right now, it's hard for them to fight.
I think they need to get in onto this backline carries and make sure you take out Switchy and this Varus. Look at this Varus build. Blade of the Rune King into Rage Blade there, as there's the Nami ult after the Zac jump in, and flashes coming out from a couple members of Disadvantaged Leaguers. So Nami ult for some flashes, as there's a nice bubble in onto Fizz with the Grunner being there, and Zac's going to go in. He's going to become up, and there's the Evelyn trying to come in into the back line, and that's not going to be enough, as Scion takes out one, and there's a nice double knockup, and Jinx is going to get the shutdown, and she's going to go hyper. Ziggy's going to take in on that one, and Scion's going to keep going forward, but I think that's going to be too much damage, as the bubble does not finish off that one, as Varus is trying to lay some poke damage out from behind. Not Ziggy with the Nami trying to get in here. Wanna gets in with a Q, but not going to be in range, and with all of that done, they have the fast track on the Dragon here.
A nice clean 3-for-0. There's the team fights that I was talking about earlier. They're getting their scaling. I think playing in a little bit open space like a lane is also going to help them. The pick comp of disadvantaged leaguers is more apt to smaller spaces. It's like if you have a Rumble on your team or an Alawi. You don't want to fight in those crowded areas.
Mm-hmm. It's time to go back and collect some farm. While Vance is trying to make the most impact that he can on this, Zach, Evelyn has gone a very squishy, all-in build, and while has been able to get off a lot of damage and steal a lot of CS, Zach seems to be the one living at the end of these fights, even though he's, getting out CS by double. But he's kept up in level now, and so that, I think, has played a very impactful portion of this. Plus the Spirit Visage. Spirit Visage.
He built it this game. Finally.
There we go. Well, Spirit Visage may be core on Gragas, but is the core item on Zac. I don't care how many armor dealing champions they are. Zac needs that just to sustain long enough in those team fights. So.
Yep. Also, Banditos took Infernal Drake away from disadvantaged leaders.
And a bubble out from Nami. It looks like we may be having some, and nope.
Up here.
Nope, just some poke wars going in, trying to get some vision. No, we talked about kind of the split pushing from game one. Fizz he's been going straight to team fights so much fact forward that he didn't get another help split push item. He went for a Void Staff.
Damage. I like it.
This is all about team fights on their side. I mean, the Proto Belt, they have, Lich Bane. I mean, they guess have two, Sheen items with the Lich Bane and the Triforce coming out on their side, but they're not actually getting any Sheen procs on these towers recently. They've kind of stalled out in the last about 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, they're going to get a catch. Goodbye, Zach.
Well, here he comes. Let's see if Sion will teleport in to save him. Nope. He's going to go down. Fizz will TP in, and Jinx is largely in trouble as Fizz lands on a Chomper. And so did Evelyn.
They should really fetch the minion wave and push bot tier 2 right now.
Yep, they probably should. Sion needs probably to get out of this top lane and look in here. Although this mid tower is, really low. Let's check the health on that one. It is sitting at 677 health. So Varus with a couple of auto attacks again is in there, and Orianna just one combo, nearly one shots the Cassiopeia. I don't think she realized that's how much damage she was going to do. Otherwise, she probably should have popped her ult and just taken her out once and for all.
This is just zoning a little bit. Sion's gonna go clear out bot tier 2.
And Zac is back on the attack. So as we slowly look at the division, the disadvantaged leaguers have been doing a okay job this game of getting in their advantage, and not unlike in the first game where they were the much more impactful team in the vision control wars. I'm just not exactly sure as Vance is actually going to get attacked and has to flash out as we see a teleport in by Sion. I don't know if they want to continue. It looks like they're going to, and they're going to blow up this pick in onto the Thresh, and that's going to get Jinx excited. And Cassiopeia with a great ult over the wall helps take out the Evelyn, and Varus was stuck there. If you don't have a tank line and you get stuck with one CC like Zac, you're donezo as an AD carry. And now with all 5 members on the map, they have to watch out for the Shockwave. They have to watch out for the Fizz Fish. Let's see what happens.
I'll be excited to see if Orianna and Fizz can.
It's in onto Cassiopeia, and there's the ult, and one more Q-Do, and she's going to go down. Fizz is going to jump out, and there's nothing they can do about it as they turn right back to Baron. They ate 2 ults, they took out 2 members, and now Fizz is just going straight in on the KD carry. Tries to go after, the last train. She does, and now Sion has to pull them out. This Fizz is too strong right now. They cannot just take that Baron in front of her.
Good Baron stop.
Fish person
from disadvantage.
Now Sion's only 1,000 gold behind Fizz. After all of this, has now passed Fizz in CS and only 1,000 gold behind, and as a result, has gotten to the point of really tanky. But Jinx ain't tanky.
That she is not. Never gonna be tanky. I like, though, that Jinx's positioning has been a lot better this game than it was last game.
That's definitely good to see. Now, is Rageblade really the second item Varus' go for? I don't... 80 carries in the chat. Tell me if that's right or wrong. Chat, tell me what the...
I've seen some Varus' go Rageblade. when I was shoutcasting an amateur tournament back in March, we had a AD carry that brought out. Oh, what did he do? He had Thunderlords on Varus, and he went. I think he went Gunblade, Rageblade, and another item. And it was this weird hybrid damage on hit build, and it was just shredding through people. So, I think that's a little bit more of a quirky thing, but Rageblade is, I wouldn't say a common item on Varus, but it's not like it's unbeknownst.
Well, Zach's gonna die. As Evelyn goes for the instant proto belt into the blue smite, into some Q&E damage, and now the heal from Nami comes out and looks like they're going to be just poking up. But Evelyn's going to, keep on chasing as the fish comes out from Zach, and there's the Zach ult pulling Evelyn in, and she's going to flash away, but she lands on a chomper, which gets Jinx excited. She's running around, she's hyped up, but they're giving up tower damage as we speak, and with the tower dropping, it's just going to be a matter of time here till the gold starts to pile up, and Ziggy's stuck by them lonesome.
What's that Lantern gonna do?
Oh no, no one. Ziggy don't. Oh geez, and now Scion's like, I'm gonna fight the two APs here, and goes right off with the help of Ziggy, who's going all in on this, trying to land a bubble and get away from Varus at the same time, flashing over the wall, just trying to land some more poke damages. They're just ignoring the support because the tank's the one doing all the damage. Thresh on the backside is actually the one getting soloed out on that end. Jinx is probably getting another one. There's the kill onto Varus and Thresh, and Nami went down as Fish blast plants away, and we now have Orianna on the defensive here as the bot lane from Disadvantaged Leaguer get caught out in the jungle skirmish. Zach's going to go in, and with the double knockup, and there's the clap together, but Fizz can jump out of that for some reason, because that makes total sense. Down goes one tower. Jinx is getting excited. One more rocket, not in range, not going to finish that one off, as she's going to run back to base. Or Dragon, Elder? They going to do Elder? Oh, the Banditos, they're getting ballsy. They do have Jinx and Cassiopeia, so both these champions will be able to shred through this dragon fairly well. And they got two tanks up front to tank it, and only Evelyn can come in right now because Fizz and Varus are dead. Thresh is running on his way, but Evelyn's gone real full offensive here with the Leandries, with no tank whatsoever. And with this dragon, they should maybe even set up, I don't know, are they just going to run? They're all five. We may have a Baron fight with the team that's behind in gold and in items slightly and in levels if you look across on the champions, even though Scion's at 18 and is the furthest one in game. But as we see, Baron has started and Fizz teleports in. There's one poke. They lose their bottom tier 2 for this. There's the Nami all come across. Zach's going to come in. He does not get the smite. Fizz secures it, but Jinx is going to get hyper. There's a Orianna Shockwave on 4 members, but that's not going to be enough. Fizz ult still on the Cassiopeia. Finishes off. Triple kill for the Jinx now, and this is what you want to see out of your carry as the Zach is absolutely running amok. He got shut down early game. He got shut down mid game, but he's tower diving at this point of the game because he's the full tank with the CC, and now Jinx leads the charge, and they're going to absolutely shred through this tier 2 here in bot lane, and Cassiopeia is doing it with Scion in mid lane. If they ramp up their powers, they may be able to get 2 inhibitors.
What's the point of getting Baron if you're just gonna get Ace?
Well, both teams that got Baron got smoked in this series so far.
Yeah, just definitely good play out from Banditos. Their comp has come online, and it's really hard for Disadvantaged Leaguers to come back.
Now, Disadvantaged Leaguers do have a little tiny silver lining. They did get the open inhibitor in the bot lane from minions, knowing that, but it's on another side of the map, and it's not one of the 2 lanes that they have to push out from. And this pick comp can't be picking, Scion and Zac anymore. They've become to the point where the tanks are tanky, and they have to start looking just at killing the Cassiopeia and the Jinx.
It's hard to get to them. Their positioning is a lot better from last game, and it's really hard to get to them when you have a Zac and a Scion, hitting your face, and you've got a Nami back there doing some excellent peeling.
And there is a lot of AP damage coming out on the side. Varus hasn't even gone a full, like we said, kind of AD builds, that full crit build. So he's not really critting through these tanks. We're looking at Leandries here in Rageblade and, Blade of the Rune Kings to try and get through them. So, I mean, I just expect these tanks to just start, finishing up. Alisanian's going to go for another armor item, it looks like. Maybe focusing on AP, defensively on their side. Whereas this Jinx, she's gotten hyper a couple times in these fights. When Jinx gets hyper, she does awesome things.
Yeah, definitely a lot more fed than last game. The team has really enabled Jinx a lot more this game to do what Jinx wants to do in fight. I definitely like this a lot more out of Banditos. Maybe this will be the pattern throughout the season, is just pick late game. Just stall and scale.
It may be. Well, let's hope it's not that for the whole season, because I've seen a couple of Vantage games that are like, hey, cast my game. I look at the VOD review and I'm like, an hour and 12 minutes. No. Not doing that. As Zach's going to go full in here onto Orianna, as she's going to be able to run off. It looks like they're just running it down mid here.
Tyler 1 style.
I mean, they do have nothing stopping them in their way. It looks like they just want to make this fight happen inside the enemy team's base. So if they do lose, they have a long way to run before they can deal any damage to them. Or not. They're just going to back it all the way out and run back to bot lane. And are they going to face tank it? I mean, you could. You have Sion and Zac, but I'm not sure if you really want to do that on this side. So none of the major objectives are up for the short period of time. So I think just collecting this wave and pushing it in is probably their best bet. But I don't know if you want to grouping your whole team up is what you want to do anyway. I wouldn't want to be trying to push all 3 lanes at once, because just let the super minions do their job.
Yep.
Don't get picked.
Yep.
Zach, maybe you could get some CS. You're at 86.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
CS becomes less effective as time goes on.
Well, there's the flash burn on the Evelynn by the Zac jump, so we'll see if they want to make a final stand at this tower, or if they have to send someone back, which they should be doing, because they will be losing a Nexus tower. Although, if you just give up 1 Nexus tower and you win the team fight, then you can stall out.
I don't have a ton of faith, though. They haven't been winning the team fight so far.
Yeah. Well, Fizz is the one being sent back and does not have the most wave clear. And that's the signal for Nami to go in with the Siren ult coming in. Zac going up over the backside. And that's just too many knockups coming in. And they're going to take down Death by Calci. He's going to finish up. Great 3-man shockwave by Orianna. And Fizz is finally ult with the teleport. And there's a giant fish that knocks up a couple of people. Zac laying down all the damage. And the tower is doing everything. But it's all on Sion, which doesn't mean shit to him because he's a tank. And that is an ace on the side of the Banditos. The tanks tanked everything for Cassiopeia to lay out all of the damage, Jinx to lay out all the damage. Jinx finally went down, but it's hard to get on Jinx when you have to get on top of Zac and Sion. And with that is the game to win to the Banditos.
1-1.
Excellent comeback. Great job by them coming back into it. They got tanky enough. Their Cassiopeia got to almost, full six items. Jinx is on 6 items. And just the team fight at, 30 to 35 minutes in both matches tonight have really swung things for the team fight heavy comps.
Yeah. I find really interesting the last team fight. It looked like disadvantaged leaguers were going to win it, but Banditos juggle aggro properly so that only Jinx goes down. Very, very good tower dive. I'm looking at the total damage champions, and disadvantaged leaguers blew Banditos out of the water as far as damage, but Banditos come back with the team fights and the macro decisions. So, just proving damage isn't everything.
So, as we kind of, like you said, touch base on all the damage that came out, the Evelyn really fell off coming into that late game. The Fizz was wrecking house, but fell off because he couldn't get in onto the back line of the Cassiopeia or the Jinx. He kept landing a lot of ults on Nami and Zac and Sion, and it just wasn't quite enough to wrap everything up and get a conclusion. Now, Oriana didn't have a ball delivery system. She was landing great 2, 3, 4-man shockwaves, but when they're not there, they just literally just got shockwaved, and then they kept fighting because there was no more CC coming out from 3 of their members. Varus did throw out an ult, but Cassiopeia doesn't care if she just stands there and Qs and Es and throws the ult. Jinx can stand there and fire away. So it just seemed like the tankiness and CC that came out on the side of the Banditos really was impactful in the second half of the game, and that propelled them to the victory that we saw there.
Yep. Definitely a good job out of both teams. I thought that was a lot closer than the previous game. And even though both teams won a game through late game scaling, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Wasn't just boring 40 minutes fight. There's a lot of action.
Yeah, so let's see here. We're gonna do just what are you looking forward to just the season as a whole? Just kind of from your point of view and what you want to see for everyone as we get someone from each team invited in here.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see all the different divisions. I haven't so far been able to see a ton of divisions. I've only experienced Helio and Supernova. I've played in both divisions. I've coached in both divisions. So I'll be very excited to see some more Stellar games. And I'm even more excited to hopefully watch some Galactic games. Haven't experienced those so far. I've heard myths and legends of some of the players up there. So very excited for that. As far as maybe champions and game stuff, I'll definitely be excited to see some of the non-meta stuff. Like I really enjoyed the Fizz here. I enjoy seeing, different types of comps. Hopefully, we'll see stuff other than the traditional team fighting comps that we saw tonight. See some different stuff. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing a bunch of stuff. I know that when the Rift Herald first came out in the playoffs last split, that was something that I really looked forward at all the teams, specifically how everyone did with the Rift Herald, and I sent we just watched all of that, right? And it was something that was really awesome to watch all the different strategies and everything that people did. So should have people. I sent stuff out. Hopefully someone jumps in here, or someone. I sent them to people. We'll see.
All right. Oh, we got Ziggy in here.
Ziggy is in here.
Yep.
Ziggy.
Hello.
How we doing? You're on stream. Can you tell me how many hooks did you not follow in game 1?
I think maybe one.
One. Very, very aggressive.
Could have been one, maybe none. I don't know.
We were commenting how your team needed to follow you because you were taking all of them that we caught on stream anyway. So, a 1-1 on the match tonight, and so how do you feel? Like, yeah, 1-1. How do you feel?
Well, I mean, I felt that we could have definitely 2-0'd. I made a very boneheaded call and completely forgot Baron was up, which kind of hurt a lot. Other than that, for a team that just got put together and a bunch of people who haven't really played League play together, I think taking a 1-1 in the first game is phenomenal against a team who actually, I think, won Helio last season, or was it Stellar?
The season before they did.
Okay, and I mean they're pretty.
And they got upgrades with like EV and whatnot.
Yeah, and everyone played great. Everyone moved as a unit, and other than a couple hiccups we had that were a little bit on me and a little bit on Gragas in game 1, that we did pretty good. We played our comp, I think, pretty much to the T. We did what we needed to do. The second game, we pretty much just tried to delay until late game as best as possible, and I mean, I think you saw from that team fight down on bot what happened when we got to late game. We just tanked towers for days with Sion and Zach and win the game.
Now, that's the strategy that they used in game 1. Is that something that you looked specifically at, using in game 2? That team fighting, super tanky CC?
Yeah, we decided that we wanted to play more for the late game, which we couldn't seem to finish them off quickly enough in the first game. So we wanted to go more front to back comp, which is what we ended up doing with the Zac and the Sion. I just wanted to pick a utility support in the back and just see what we can do. We managed to negate all the Eve was doing in the early game, and that worked out for the best for us.
Alright. So I guess a little bit more of a fun question. Top lane Fizz, right? Yay or nay?
Top lane Fizz, I don't think it's a thing anymore. It still can work very well if you know how to play into the matchups, which Eevee did very good. I think at one point he was 7-2,
Yeah.
and it was looking very grim for us, but we were just able to have that one team fight where we ended up getting, I think, 3 for 2 or something going when I got caught in red side. And then we just ended up snowballing that into a bigger lead, which in turn ended up giving us Baron, which then we shoved down top and mid simultaneously with a 5-man push because we had a huge wave on top, and that just put all the pressure on them and they couldn't handle it with their early game comp.
As we jeez. Yes, cat. Yeah, I know. Sorry, the cat likes the microphone. As you said, you just started playing with this particular team this season with these guys. Is there something? I mean, obviously you've done a season or two before. What are you looking forward to most within the next month and a half coming out from playing with these guys? Or guys or girls. I don't know who's on your team. Sorry.
No, they're actually all males. Really just try and train the next group of people for Vantage, and get them rolling in the way of organized team sports, and just show them it. And hopefully one day that they can start reaching some of the upper echelons and start playing with some of the galactic people.
That's the goal for all of us non-galactic visioners here. So as we kind of yes, I know. As we look forward, not only for this division in particular, it's a dispersed group of people put in a lot of work in this division and have proven that they've they can handle themselves and take their teams to the playoffs. Are you looking at a lot of stiff competition? Is there anyone ready to take on all the other teams?
That's actually a pretty good question. One team that I am in particular is Hellkites. They are a very well-known team within Vantage, and they are actually, I think, the longest tenured team.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
So they're definitely, someone that is definitely for a challenge. I think they also did win, too.
Yep.
last season. So that puts them, already at the front run trying to defend their championship. And it should be a good season in Helio. I think all the teams are evenly distributed pretty well by Chase. And we'll just have to go from there.
Okay, do you want to leave any words with us, Ziggy, as we let you disadvantaged leaguers back in here? I think they're just having a final team chat here, so.
No, I just want to say, thanks for casting the game, guys. You guys did a great job. I actually got to listen to a majority of it while playing, because I am known to be a big multitasker. I just got word that Hellkites didn't win today. Uh-oh.
Ooh, who'd they play?
I'm not sure. Oh, Team Atlas? Wait. They
No.
play Team Atlas? No.
They
No,
Team
Atlas
Hellkites,
isn't-
Atlas moved up because they beat the Hellkites in the playoffs.
Right. Okay, so they didn't win last season. That's what it is. Okay. No, just thank you guys for casting. You do a great job every time. Great games to Desperados. Yes. They did great. We had a fun game. I think everyone had fun. I know we were just on comms crazy as balls and just going every which way trying to figure out what to do. And it's just fun. Vantage League is just fun.
I like it. That's something they should put on the website. Vantage League is fun. Ziggy. 2K17.
Yeah, go ahead, post it. Quote it. Paid for Steve. You know the deal.
Paid by
For
Steve.
There we
Yes.
are. So, thank you, Ziggy, and we're gonna try and snag someone out from Disadvantaged Leaguers here. I think they were having a little wrap up of a team meeting, just kind of talk about how the games went, and so we should see that going on. Hopefully here in just a moment. Do you want to touch base on with anything else? While we try and delay.
Well, we can do this. I know that we did have some talk between me and Blitz on what the Thresh play was going to be like. Someone did tell me to play Thresh today, so.
Okay, so a little backstory here from. So I coached Ziggy up in Supernova, and they had some scrims, which the AMO may or may not have been a part of, and we did a VOD review on one of the games where Goonball, a sub from Galactic, played Thresh, and we just counted all of the missed hooks and missed plays that he did some of them in slow motion. It was quite beautiful. There was one where he backed off of a team fight, ulted, and then hooked in the complete opposite direction of the enemy team. It's wonderful. So, anyways, from that, I, knew Ziggy was playing support tonight, so I was like, jokingly, hey, you should play Thresh, and so I can flame you a little bit for every hook you miss. But he was really good about him tonight.
Yeah, he landed the hooks and then followed them up. Most of the time, maybe he shouldn't have done that, but he knows.
Little Lee syndrome there.
Oh yeah, Lee syndrome.
I am a jungler at heart, so there is that.
It's good to see participation coming across the board. I'm gonna give someone from the Disadvantaged Leaguers one more minute. It's in the Slack, guys. The invite is in the Slack.
Do we need to go and find Mark and have him play some Silver Scrapes for us?
No, nope.
Oh man.
I only bust that out for the playoffs. So, can you believe in the playoffs, on all the games I casted last season, I had to play that song every series that I casted.
I mean, that sounds just glorious.
Did you play the Mark version or the regular version?
The regular version, because the Mark version wasn't available for most of it, because we did the playoffs kind of like before their playoffs had finished up.
Oh,
so.
gotcha. Well, we'll have to use the clip of Mark this year.
Oh, jeez, I'm not subjecting the people to that any more than
Why?
they
It's
absolutely
beautiful.
do. Oh, it may be. So, I'll do it again. Copy, paste. I'm not inviting the entire Twitch chat to my Discord.
Why not? Have a Q&A with the 3 fans we have out there.
Jeez.
Oh, we got someone in here.
Hello?
Thanks for interviewing Ziggy.
Thanks, Ziggy. Hello, we have
Evie is Bay.
Evie is
Yo.
Bay from Disadvantaged Leaguers.
Yep.
You're the new guy on the team.
Yeah.
How's it?
Man.
How's it going?
It's going well. I'm enjoying my time with the team.
That's good. Now, this is an interesting dynamic.
Oh, we
'cause-
got 2 people in here.
We do?
Double interview. We got Raj. How do you pronounce your name? Because the AMO cannot pronounce your name the entire
Nope.
stream.
Don't go back and listen to it, because it's going to be bad.
Yep. Sorry, I'm Rage. I was trying to get in, but I didn't know how.
Rage?
Rage.
Yeah. Like,
So, I just say Rage because I stole it from a God of War in a mud I played a million years ago.
Super.
But hey, first double interview. I like it.
So you're both the new guys on the
Yes.
Disadvantaged Leaguers. So what is that like coming into a team dynamic that's pretty well established after a few seasons?
you want to take this one, Reach?
Well, it's interesting because both of us are new to it this season. I've never played Vantage before. He has. I played some, Dota matches back in the day, but I haven't played anything in 5s in a while. And I think it really showed in the second match when we picked Eve and Fizz at the very end and had no tankage whatsoever, and we just couldn't get through their tanks. Because I think we had a game plan and we did it the first game, and then we kind of went solo queue in the second game, and it did not pay off.
Well, the early game aggressive style was paying off. You got first blood on Zach doing an invade. Fizz got super fed up in top, and the transition wasn't enough to the tanks were able to come back online and just stand on top of their carries.
Yeah, they were just kind of balling up the entire time, and we did not have we just weren't executing and getting enough damage in. Like we were first, second, third, and fifth in damage, and it
Yes.
just didn't matter because we couldn't actually finish anyone off.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I guess we just let our window pass. And I think that's pretty common in any low elo game, but it's you need to be more aware of it when you're doing this kind of 5v5.
Now, how do you think the wannabe banditos, that's their name? How do you think they played in comparison to you?
In comparison to our team.
Wait, sorry, did you guys
Okay.
hear me?
You cut out for a second.
Oh, I said, what do you guys think of wannabe banditos since they're like a brand new team in comparison to your team tonight?
I think both teams did well. I don't think both teams excelled completely. We definitely made mistakes and they made mistakes too. But I do feel like both teams are really good at not tilting and just, keep fighting even though they're down. Because we were up the first game and then they were up the second game. I think that they're a team with a lot of promise though. I definitely have to give a special shout out to Ziggy though, because if it wasn't for him, his Nami saved that Jinx so many times. But it's fine. I think that, like I said before, both teams are really good, and I cannot wait to scrim with them and eventually play with them again.
One thing that was interesting to me is we had kind of talked about banning Zach regardless, even though the guy have no games played on him in rank that we could find on OPGG. But we ended up letting it through because we thought other bans were more important, and that guy, I don't know if he's been playing him in norms or what, but he really, even giving up 2 early kills, he played really well as Zach. He was coming out of nowhere with his ease and hitting him.
So, as getting forward in the season, what are you looking forward to either accomplishing with this team as a group? Like, what are you looking forward to do over the next month to 2 months?
So I also play with Team Atlas. So the difference between that team and this team is that I feel like we need to build synergy. Because we've only been together for like 2 or 3 weeks, and it's not enough time for us to know our tendencies and stuff like that. I think our realistic goal is to make playoffs. I don't think that that's something, out of reach. But we're just gonna try to get better, get our synergy together, and yeah, that's basically it.
So I'm glad you brought up that you play with Team Atlas up in Supernova. Do you have any sort of like different expectations for how that division's going to go? Because you mentioned that this team in Stellar, you have to build synergy. So what are you looking forward to in Team Atlas?
Okay. So in Team Atlas, I thought our synergy was really, really good last season, which is why we won the championship. And I know that division is going to be very tough for us, but I think we're up to the challenge. I don't think it's mostly about synergy up there. I think it's more about us as a team just taking it up to the next level in order for us to really compete for that championship.
Well, let's finish up talking about this. This is the Stellar Division. You've gone 1-1 against a notable team in the league, and that has to put some confidence into you guys because some of those players on the other side, they're well known of they're not only their play styles but they're of what they can do and what they can go off at being. Ziggy, you mentioned, is a little slightly there. To take this division home, you're going to have to, like you said, focus on that synergy. But at the same time, the other teams are all working on that at the same well. How do you feel like the community outside of the Stellar Division works with each other? I know you have a little bit of peek into the Supernova in the community, but everywhere down to the Helio, up to the Galactic, how do you feel the community involves each other and helps each other out to help? Not only it's all friendly competition here, right? So
yeah. I think that the people in Galactic and Supernova are very nice people. I think they offer coaching and picks and stuff like that to the lower divisions. And I think that, at least from Stellar, and I'm pretty sure Helios as well, we have players in Vantage that are very hungry to become better, which is, it's kind of refreshing, But yeah, that's what I think.
Rage, how do you feel as
You cut out.
like brand new? Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel like being brand new to Vantage? How do you think? What do you think about the community so far since you've been here the past couple weeks?
I mean, it's been good. I like my team so far. And there's, I think I saw a rule or two about not, no trash talk or certain level of trash talk or something. But as far as that game goes, we didn't really talk to each other much. But I think it was all friendly. That the little bit that went on. So it's been enjoyable so far. I don't know. See how it plays out. I'm mostly just looking forward to, getting a little better, expanding my champion pool to more team-oriented champs and stuff like that.
Yeah. And so I guess one last question from me is so Evie, I was really excited when you locked in top lane Fizz. Is that something I'm going to be able to see more often?
Well, we would have to incorporate it to our team, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, before they nerfed Fizz was a demon up there. So, playing him now, he was pretty good. So I think not only will you see Fizz, but you'll probably see a couple of picks that are not really expected of me.
I dig it. I know the MO was kind of cursing your name a little bit with the fizz, but
there was.
I mean, in a manner of speaking.
I destroyed that champion with my tongue lashings, though. So I think we're wrapping up here to the end. Do you guys want to say anything else before me and Blitz take it home?
Yeah. Well, thank you for casting. Thanks for everyone that was watching, and hopefully we'll do a lot better next series, and we'll hopefully get to the finals.
I'm not looking forward to watching my Eve replay. That is going to be painful. At least after like the first 5 minutes.
But you can watch the first game and be proud of that.
That's true. That's true.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for inviting us on.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Have a good night.
You too.
Okay, Blitz, that was the first match of the season that we've seen in Stellar Division. In any division, the first match that was streamed. How do you feel?
I don't know. I enjoyed it. Hopefully, we're going to get to see some more interesting games in the future. Like I said, I'm really excited to see some Galactic, excited to see some Helio, some Supernova, all of that good stuff, and hopefully we can improve as casters as well, and really bring a entertainment that you don't see anywhere else.
Oh, they don't get those jokes anywhere but from me, bud. So, I'm just going to say it's glad to be back. I'm glad everyone's participating and watching. Next time we'll try and keep the interviews a little bit shorter. We ran a little bit long tonight. But look more coming from me and Blitz, the rest of the casting team, your other divisions, Galactic, Supernova, more Stellar Action, Helo Division. We don't forget about you. We play your stuff as well. And as a result of Evelyn, we're going to end it with a little bit of a rap battle.
What?
Just listen to the stream, bud. Have a good night, everyone.
Shut your mouth and don't you dare even try it. I don't care how much you are because I still wouldn't buy it.
Number one item in the shop, drop me on the map. Providing vision like a boss, I'm watching all the gaps. I'm helping set traps in every game cause I'm ubiquitous. While picking you cause people report it cause you're ridiculous. You see the enemy, all you can do is follow them. Barely a real champ, you're like a hologram. Your best ability was ripped from my skill set. The shadows beckon, please, you're just a silhouette.
Now how can you mock me? You know I'm something you can't see. Let me tell you 3 heads to your face I will see. Don't you dare move a muscle, you just stay right there. Cause I'll be back real soon to knock you off that high chair. So you think you got skill set and traps, you say. Pretend you're watching all the gaps while you're sitting on display. You believe that you're safe underneath this blue sky. Well you better be scared cause I've got that pink eye.
I might take 3 hits, but basically so do you. You're killed by a light breeze, at least I'm spell immune. Keep buying oracles like some kind of comedian. And when you die, your team can say there goes 400 gold again. You can't deny my skill, I've got no limitations. I'm the original, you're just a walking imitation. You shouldn't even be in real games, know your limits. Unlike me, you're barely ever alive for 3 consecutive minutes.
A 3-minute lifespan, man you be lucky to break 2. All you do is sit there and watch like a young kid at a zoo. You're planted on my ground, and that's your final decision. I made a trip up to the shop, came back with a vision.
I had a vision too, but it was just you failing. Actually, I think that was the game, I guess that's why you're trailing. At least your remake's coming, cause it would be a shame if you continue getting crushed and then reported every game.